Mayor. Wonderful, thank you. I didn't know you weren't a fan. I did. Who was that? Pastor, Kerry, Jermaine, Champ, Ray Bull, Dre, T. Peasy. I know I'm forgetting some of y'all, my whole U18. Love y'all to life, you know that. My ex Carolyn, doing great, came in here like Lola for long. My kids, can I have my kids stand real quick? My baby Jeff.
Whose idea was it to do it in front of the white plane and the white limousine?
It was really our co-director, Eric Powers, because when we are dealing with a personality like Prime's, you don't want to sit him on a sofa in a living room. And I mean, his personality, his aura is too big for that.
True. So true.
We had to find the biggest space available to hold his personality.
So they called Jerry Jones. He made it happen.
We were in Dallas doing the interview and got a big white hanger, and it actually fit the theme of the film perfectly because, of course, it's about all the traveling.
Yeah. Deion, talk a little bit about the difference between Deion and Primetime. It's not just sunglasses on,
No,
sunglasses
that
off.
kind of happened at the crib. That happened at home. That's why you got to be careful what you do around your kids. My stepfather was more like Deion. He was a hard-working 9-to-5er. I mean, no nonsense. He's just a great he's really laid back, really subdued. I mean, you wouldn't even know he in the room. And my biological father was Prime. He was all that daddy puppy. He was the toast of the town. He was the party. He had all the catchy saying, the quotes. He had so much energy, so much passion. I mean, he was a rebel. He was the guy that pushed the limits. So I developed those personalities from my childhood. And I didn't bring them out really until when I touched the field. I was always Prime on the field and Deion off the field. I'm a country boy. I like the fish. I like country. I like the land. I like peace and serenity. So that's really me. I mean, the other cat with the hat on tonight, that's Prime. So I'm trying to give you a little bit of both.
And Ken, I mean, did you feel like at times you were interviewing Deion and at other times you were interviewing Prime?
I did, and I'll tell you the most marked difference was when we would stop down in between takes, in between interview questions, and I still remember it was 140 degrees.
It was hot.
It was hot. He's in long sleeves and long pants, and he was worried about us. He kept saying, "Is the crew all right? Does the crew need a break?" He wanted to work. He didn't care that he was sweating. He's the superstar, and he was totally worried about the rest of the crew. And he was incredible to all of us. And to me, I wish everyone could be there and see that side of Deion, because it was even more pronounced than it is in the film. And I realized what a great guy he is on top of an athlete.
I mean, a lot of athletes who build this huge persona, they lose who they really are, and it can become a problem. You don't have that real person to go back to. I mean, how much is it? Have you thought about that?
Well, it was always a plan. I think you got to work your plan your work, and work your plan. And I made that plan way back in high school and really enhanced it in college. So this was all pre-orchestrated. This was all deliberate. It was nothing that just happenstance. This was a plan that I made up to secure my mother for the rest of her life. And to this day, she's never had to work another day of her life.
Let's talk about that weekend a little bit and the controversy around it. Did you ever hear from any fans or fellow players who were upset with you?
Never. These are definitely not. I mean, TP was the captain of that team. TP's what you got, baby?
Terry Pendleton, you're
Terry
here?
Pendleton.
And we also have Andre
Andre was the dog on the football team, so when you get validated by those two, it was all good. So Andre held it down. He was the one I called and talked to about everything. That was my best dude on the Falcons. And Jamie Dukes. Jamie Dukes been knowing me since I was 17 years old. Yeah, when the curl was really wet. When the curl was really wet. So I never had a problem with a teammate whatsoever in my whole career.
And no fans?
No fans. Never a fan would come to me and say, "Why did you do such a..." Never, whatsoever. And that, I think that's what kind of upset me, because my teammates were straight, and I got some announcer spitting it wrong over the air, and honestly, it really upset my mama. She called me cussing. She was going on. She really got mad. So whoever this dude is, talking about you like a dog on TV, baby. You need us. I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. And that was really the extent of the conversation.
Ken, were you surprised that McCarver didn't want to talk to you for this film?
I was surprised that our incredible team didn't convince him eventually.
Did they try?
There were many attempts, many phone calls, texts, letters, same with John Shortholz, because we felt...
Did they get an invite tonight?
Good.
Are they here? Secretly in the back?
No, I mean, it would have been great to do what Deion presented, which is get he and McCarver together, and we tried.
Because I wanted to talk it out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he was informed with the information. And I don't think you all, some of you got it, but you still don't have it. I didn't have a contract to be playing with the Braves. So I was taking it as, man, I'm over here helping y'all. Like, I'm over here missing my football team when I have a football contract, and you disregarding them like they don't mean nothing. Like our games don't mean nothing with getting to the playoffs. And they was the Braves were in the playoffs. It wasn't the World Series. The World Series, I chose to stay. But the playoffs, I wasn't even playing. I was on the bench for 9, barely hitting it, in the bottom of the 9th or the bottom of the 7th or whatever TP. I mean, I wouldn't even get in the game. I was an afterthought. And you want me to send my team out there against Dan Marino? That's crazy. That don't make sense at all. And that bothered me that he wasn't informed correctly.
Your offer still stands to McCarver if you want to.
No, that thing over. That thing has a limit to
Okay, so there's no sequel where you're breaking bread.
15 days to respond.
We're going to take some questions from the audience. I'm sure everyone has lots of good questions in a minute. But a couple things, it's Super Bowl week. I'm just curious, if we could talk about this week and football right now. I mean, how we hear so much about how this is a passing league, wide open. How would Prime fare in today's NFL?
Man, I'm but the NFL fair to me. Probably, with this social media, I probably would have ownership on the team while I'm playing still. No, the game ain't no different, man. It's the same game, different names. It's the same game, different names.
You bring up social media. Actually, we spoke about this film earlier, and you mentioned that there had been Instagram when this was going down. None of this would have been an issue.
Not whatsoever, because we would have been able to tell the truth, and you would have been able to respond, and that's the best thing about social media. You are your PR team, so you're able to instantly to respond to Tim McCarver's thoughts and his sayings, and he was ill-informed.
So if it's today, you pull out your phone, you hit Tim McCarver. How long do you wait before you hit send on that?
Do y'all understand what I'm saying? See, like, you don't have a contract and you're playing. And I thought they would be happy with me doing the best that I can do, and not even with my football teammates when I do have a contract. And it was a lie. I was not receiving any extra money from Nike to do 2 sports on the same. That was never the case. So that was like a statement that was thrown in there to damage my credibility and my name.
Let's take some questions, because no surprise, you have to run off to do a TV hit. So Deion is
No, good. I really don't want to go there, so we can stay here.
Okay, I was wondering whether there's like a chopper outside or something waiting.
My man in the middle, what's going on?
Do MLB contracts stop at the end of the season?
Yes. Only thing you share a split, right? TP, you share a playoff split. Yeah. Sort of like if it's a 50,000 to the playoffs, each guy get voted on the share of that. Yeah. Depending on how much you contributed, they would vote your share. Like if you got called up later on, you wouldn't get a whole share. You would get probably a quarter of a share, and that's how they did it. So it was no more money to be had. So I don't know what he meant by a handshake deal. What kind of deal could have been consummated when everybody? You see the bullshit I'm talking about? Like what kind of deal could have been consummated when everyone was on an equal playing field? There was no deal to be had, and we don't shake hands on deals. You right? Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Mom? What's up with you?
That's my dog.
Yo, with you playing baseball at the highest level and football at the highest level, which sport came easier for you?
Baseball was never at the highest level with me. I wish I would have. That Terry Pendleton played at the highest level.
Well-
Baseball was my challenge, man. She was that girl that I wanted. She was that dime that I just couldn't seduce her, secure. I couldn't manipulate. I couldn't do that. I couldn't cheat her whatsoever. It was time. I built a baseball cage in my yard here in Atlanta. So I don't have a bad game. I would come home and go out there and hit because I was mad. I was upset and I wanted to secure it, but it took so much mentally. And see, football is emotional. Baseball is rock steady. Because I got to do it every day. Football, I can do my thing, and you get to see that thing for 6 days. Now, baseball, you got to rock steady every day.
But
It was
didn't
just
you
a mental
almost
challenge.
choose? Didn't you almost choose baseball at one point and play
Yes.
do that full time?
I almost chose baseball with the Yankees. I was about to sign a full-time deal to negate football, and something happened with George Steinbrenner.
What happened with George Steinbrenner?
I caught up in some stuff. So what happened with George Steinbrenner? And they released me right after that. Didn't do the homework. They released me right after that, and that's how I got to become a Brave. But God has a mysterious way of working things out, and that's what got me to Atlanta on a full-time. Yes, sir.
If you could only have played just one, which sport would you have chosen? And any advice for Kyler Murray if you had a chance to chat with him?
Football was my wife. I loved her. She was faithful. She was loyal. She was good. She took me places that I didn't fathom. She done things for me that I couldn't even imagine. So she was everything. And I'm sad that I cheated on her at times.
Now, how about Kyler Murray?
Kyler's heart, to me, is football, because it would be crazy for him to even attempt, because he has a decision. Bo and I could do things, and Brad Jordan could do things simultaneously. Kyler has to make a decision, because the game does not equip the quarterback to go back and forth. It has to be one or the other. And for me, I would choose baseball in that same vein as Kyler Murray right now, because of the economics of the game. But he loves football. They have not come at him yet. They're going to start coming at him in a minute, telling him what he's not. See, he's still a kid, and when we cover kids in college until they say they're going to be a pro. Then everybody starts shooting at him. So they hadn't told you that he's 5'9". They hadn't told y'all about the dysfunctions off the field. I'm trying to say it politely and nicely. You don't even know about none of this stuff, but all this stuff is about to come out if he continues to chase this goal in this dream. I think the kid can do anything he desires, but that's gonna come with some mess, because any GM that takes it to the first round and don't work out, he's gonna get fired.
But one thing you just said though is it's the specific position you played that allowed you to go back and forth.
Because I was a cornerback. I could miss a whole week of practice and cover. I could get right now and cover. I could step out of bed and cover. I can do whatever I needed to do and still cover. One thing that scene when Pat O'Brien, when we were on the airplane, the private jet, and I was leaning back in my seat. Did you notice what I was doing? Anybody?
Studying film.
I was watching film on the Miami Dolphins. That's how dedicated I was to my craft. I was watching film, trying to know everything so I wouldn't get got, because I wanted to be that man for my guys. And like Landell said, I didn't play my best, but I was still trying. Yes, sir.
When your time was over as far as being an Atlanta Falcon and an Atlanta Brave and you were traded to Cincinnati, was there ever a moment where you considered maybe signing with the Bengals so you could play, both sides?
Yeah.
Or even with the 49ers, was there a time when you thought maybe signing with the Giants and you still do both sports?
I wanted to sign with the Bengals for both sports, so I could just keep everything right there centralized. But the Bengals management are still the Bengals management. And with the 49ers, after winning the Super Bowl, I would have thought they would secure my services, but I found out that I was not going to be a 49er. When I was playing with the Giants, I was sitting in the restaurant after the day game, and it was like preseason. I see this little white kid with number 21 on. I said, oh, okay, I guess I ain't going back there. And that's how I found out that they weren't going to re-sign me. So, yeah, that's what it was.
I just got the sign, 2 more questions, and then we gotta wrap up.
All right, we're gonna take the last 2 right here. Hey, Prime, what type of rules? Prime knows me. He knows what's good. He knows exactly what it is. By the way, watch Super Bowl Prime Wednesday, Thursday,
Good
and
luck.
Friday. NFL Network. But what rules were put in place in both leagues after you played both sports to prevent athletes in the future from playing 2 sports?
None.
None?
The only thing that prevents that is parents and coaches. And just that want and that desire. Now you got kids specializing in one thing. Why would you do one thing? If you can get 2 checks, why wouldn't you get 2 checks?
Preach.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But everybody now, you're just doing one thing, and the guy that's telling you to do one thing can't even do the one thing that he's telling you to do. So I didn't understand it. I wish more kids would venture out to just expand and do all the things that they're gifted to do. In the back. Y'all can go. I'm good. I'm good up here. Y'all can go. I'm good. I'm good.
I think everyone here knows that you have the athletic ability to play both sports. But what drove you to do what no one else had done or was intending to do?
It's a great question. Let me tell you,
Time.
that's a great question. Nothing drove me. Can you understand that this was my life? No, what I'm saying is that was my life. That was my life since I was 7 years old. I did it as a youth, and I played basketball. I did it in high school, and I played basketball. I did it in college, and I ran track. So when I came to the pros, why would I continue to do what I've always done? That was my life. So you're really telling me to stop living my life. I couldn't fathom that. I couldn't understand that. That's why it's hard for me to even vacation now, because I only had, I think, 3 weeks off a year. After the Pro Bowl, I think I had 2 weeks until spring training started. And I've never really taken vacations because I was always used to working and going to get it. Yes, ma'am.
So when you look at it in retrospect and see how the stories have been turned, what would you have done different, if anything?
Oh, I don't know if I could have done anything different because I wanted to be there for both teams, and that really hurt me. Honestly, you don't know how much that hurt me. Like, it really hurt me. Like, when I tell you tears, I never cry about a game because it's a game. I cry about life, not a game. But that hurt me emotionally because I was really trying to do the right thing, and I thought I was doing the right thing. So I don't know what else I could do different. Probably let everyone know contractually where I stood, but I thought they did when my contract was over July the 31st, and I was just coming over there to help. I thought everyone knew that, but they flipped it on me. They really did.
Your team is giving me the Deion's Gotta Go sign in the back there. Let me ask you one last question that I know John Dahl from 30 to 30 wants to know. He heard the Tomahawk Chop came to Atlanta because of you through Florida State. Is that true?
Because of me. I know we had a bunch of Florida State fans that were frequent left field or center field when I played, and they started to do the Tomahawk Chop when I got up to bat and all that. And it just caught on like fire, and it was inappropriate. And we just happened to start winning at that time as well. So I think winning helps. You can't chop and lose.
All right, Ken, tell us how people can tune in and how you can help spread the word about this over the next day or
Yeah,
so.
so social media didn't exist in '92. It does today. Prime and his team have certainly been doing their part to spread the word. We love if you like the film, to tell everyone that you like the film, and it's going to be airing tomorrow night at 9 o'clock and streaming live on ESPN platforms. It'll be available in the future on Plus.
If there's anybody that I forgot, because I'm seeing some faces, that you, Desmond? Yes, sir. Desmond, what's up, baby? I love you, man. I appreciate you. If there's anybody, Ray Boo, did I mention you, Ray Boo? If there's anybody that I forgot, trust me, I apologize immensely, because there's a lot of faces out there, but I thank you, and I truly 100% appreciate you totally. I got a question for ESPN. When is the football one coming? Yeah?
We need to block out 8 hours.
Yeah, it can't be 30 for 30. It gotta be like a 90 for 90.
All right, congratulations to both of you. Thanks to all of you.